siamo? Ci siamo? Are we ready? Hi guys! Yes, it is. It's there. Finally, the retro machine 512 gigabyte is there. The Darish zone retro machine for the Pi4, the Raspberry Pi4, the version with 4 gigabyte of RAM. You can try use this even on 2 gigabyte, but I'm not sure because this is very optimized for the 4 gigabyte version. And the background music is too much. Okay, let's lower a little. As you can hear, this is the retro machine tune made by Brutal Bass. Yes, it's exclusive tune for the retro machine only. And this is the option, and this is a very comprehensive showcase, fancy showcase of retro machine. So I want to show you everything this time. Yes, it was an hassle a little because so many factors, so the work was delayed many times, but this is the release candidate finally. It should be, finger crossed, it should be the final version, but you never know. So let's start talking about the volume is still too high. Okay, it's better. Look at the new music player, red music player. On the upper side you see the title of tracks. Now playing Chris GMFB grid run. Okay, let's start with the options. I want to explain everything. This time there's not any limit on option because the DC team decided to let the user to edit everything on this image because so many reasons for that, because the Pi4 is still a work in progress for the RetroPie team and not only them, so it's I think it's right for the user to be allowed to edit and update the image, but you have to be a little to keep a little attention, and we show later what is better to know update on this image to prevent broken something, you know. It may happen. Can't find the right music. Okay, let's start with audio. This is just a standard RetroPie option to set the output for the audio. You can select the 3.5 output for monitor, for example, headphones, or the classic HDMI output to the TV. The background music is the option to manage the background music player. You just turn off or on. The Bezel project, I know you liked it. It is a utility which lets you to install Bezel for every system, but the cool thing about this app is the fact that it can assign a single overlay for every game. So you can, for example, you can assign a different overlay for every Super Nintendo games, for example. So every game will have its own specific overlay. Bluetooth for the Bluetooth peripheral, of course. Configuration editor. The credit. This is cool. This is a video. The DC team want to to add to this image for all the people which helped this work, and many of them, many people helped of this work: Blow Base, Franco Franchi, Arumila. On this nice video by Franco Franchi, you can see all the DZ team that worked hard for this dream. Yes, teams, if you want to change the theme of the image, but to be honest, Retro Machine doesn't really need that, because there's more than 30 custom theme available, so you have plenty of choices. This is the full theme, which is called Machine Alpha, but there's many of them. I will show maybe on this showcase you may see new theme on this showcase, who knows. Fan speed configuration, this is very cool, and I very like that one to be included on the image, because the argon case for the Pi4 is highly recommended for this image, because the argon case is made of aluminum, so it's very great for the Pi temperature. And this case also have a cooling fan, which is activated only on specific situation, but most of case use the aluminum heatsink is more than enough. But with this cool utility, you can change the fan speed of the cooling fan. So you can decide to start the fan at specific temperature. You can select this on this utility. But the cool thing is that we managed to include this into emulation station, so you don't have to go to the terminal on the shell. You just manage everything into emulation station. You just need a USB keyboard. Remember that. As you can hear, the music is very, like the groove of the image is very retro synth cyberpunk inspired. File manager, if you want to manage files. Flip Genesis Mega Drive, this is for the USA friends which wants Genesis instead of Mega Drive, so just fire this option and you can change the logos. The Magic Video Screensaver, okay, this is interesting, because this is the new version of the Magic Random mode, which was included on the previous image. The Magic Random mode is still there, but this time is called Magic Video Screensaver. It works like that. If this image doesn't have video snaps, this image only have video screensavers. You can change video screensavers for every system, or a generic screensaver for every game, so you see the same screensaver for every game. That's because that's how the Magic Mystery Random mode works. You can play a totally random game like that. I show. To start the Mystery Random mode, you have to press select on your controller, and then the video screensaver start. The screensaver made by the great Franco Franchi. Looks so good. Okay, you see this routine, this video, and if you press start during this routine, you start a totally random blind game. It means you don't know what the game is until you play the game, and when you exit the game, the system will tell you finally which games was. So it's cool if you just are undecided of what game to play. Just let the system decide for you. For example, adesso now I start the game pressing start, just like prompted by the message. A Commodore 64 game, so the system picked a Commodore 64 game for me. Jada Plus. I don't know that one. There's more than 4,000 of game for the Commodore 64. Okay, so you can see when you exit the game, the system tell you what game was. Okay, but let's back a little on an option because I have to finish that. Okay, recipe config, another classic option, include a RetroArch, Ethernet play. You know all of this. Run command, show up speed modes. Let's focus a little that this image have four different overclock modes, and if you have an argon case, you can use all the mode, included the most extreme, which is called Omega. So you have the turbo mode, ultra mode, extreme mode, and Omega mode. I show specifically the utility. Okay, now the image is by default, so it 1520 Hz for the CPU. You can push the CPU above 2000 megahertz, and this is the Omega mode. Remember, you need a very efficient equipment, cooling equipment. If you have the argon case, there's not problem, or just any case with a fan. Don't try absolutely Omega mode if you don't have a cooling fan or high performance aluminum heatsink, because the Pi4 will turn very hot. Remember this. And why this option? Because some more demanding system like PSP and Dreamcast get some benefits if you push the overclock modes. Especially the Omega mode is useful for some PSP games, like for example God of War. So if you want some bonus on frame rate, FPS, is recommended to use the overclock modes. If you want to stay safe, you can use up to extreme mode. If you are adventurous, just go for Omega mode, but remember the system might turn a little unstable. Remember that. Okay, splash screens. You can choose the splash screens you want. You can add new splash screen. System info. There, this is very useful option because you can see the temperature of your PI. You can see the address of your network, and you can see the available space on card. There's around 9 gigabyte free on this image, because we'll see this image a lot of features included, a full operative desktop, so you can use this image like a real computer system, and so some bonus space is needed for that. The theme randomizer, if you enable this option, you can every reboot you will see a different theme. If you want a specific theme and want it changed, just forget this option. And Wi-Fi. Okay, let's start with the system. There are 15 system available. Let's start with Amiga. Amiga is a great set. It's a build set on years of work, starting from the first DZ images, and there's more than 2000 of games is almost the full set, is 2, 3, 2, 4. I show just some every games. There's a lot of homebrew game this time, and the homebrew have his own collection. There's a lot of incredible games like Rambo, but it have a different name. It's called Acorralado, but this Rambo, in fact, is Rambo First Blood. Okay, so all the Amiga games are WHDA version, so it means you cannot have to change disk during this game, and there's not loadings. Basically, it's a very the next gen of Amiga retro gaming for sure. And this time this system rely completely on PYE. It's a fantastic Libretro emulator, so you have all the benefits of the Libretro environment. So you have the visual keyboard, you can use the overlays, and you can play in Full HD. This thanks to the fantastic works by the same guy that made the Amiga and the Commodore 64 emulator under Libretro. Okay, this is not really a gameplay showcase. I will show some game just for as you can see, the loadings are very fast. There's not disk swapping. You know the drill for the Commodorians. This is paradise. Okay, that's what I meant when I say you have all the benefits of the Libretro environment. If you go on screen display, just to check for overlays, there's a lot of overlays. If you want the overlays made by me, for example, you can try the fantastic I always give credit to the authors. Those are Orion's Angel overlays. If you want try the bezel from Orion Angel, I suggest to take a look to his channel too. This is a fantastic creator of overlay. If you want to try the DZ overlay, they are all included on DZ folder. And let's choose an Amiga. Bezel. Okay, and you have Amiga bezel in 2. This one is incredible for me. I never thought to use an overlay with Amiga emulation, to be honest. This resembles in some way Tarican, and Tarican it's also featured on the overlay. It's very cool. Pierre Moss, there's the tracks by Pierre Moss on this image. You remember him from the Neon image, and this image resemble a little also Neon image with all these cyberpunk arts. But let's back to the system available. So we saw Amiga and the Amiga 1200. I've decided to keep the AGA games standalone because there's a little of chaos and confusion to have merged into the Amiga 600 games. And this is the Amiga CD32, and this fan project is a remake of Aztec Challenge. It's not finished yet, it's just a beta, but you know I love Aztec Challenge. Okay, I've set the Amiga CD32 to use by default the Amiga CD32 controller, so you should play straight that one without the need of keyboard, not even the visual keyboard. You play this just like a console, which was in fact. So you have a cutscene, and the character is not a male anymore, is a female apparently. This is a live stream, so there's not a cut. I'm sorry, you have to. What a scream! The music is reworked. Oh my gosh! Okay, suck a little. I want to play again. Yes, I want to play again. The music, guys! It's so fluid. The music! I'm very focused. Ah! Ah! I will succeed! The music! No! No! The music is great. It's a total remix of the original. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, it's great. So, move on. The Amstrad is almost 2000 of games. It's enough for you? Arcade, and the arcade set is epic. There's 2623 total games for the arcade. There's everything you can wish and more. For example, it's very cool. There's Arcadia. The Arcadia was the arcade version of Amiga games. They are very rare. Okay, just want to show some random game from this set because there's more than 2,600 of games. Wow! Atari 2600 and 707 games. Atari 7800, 84 games. Starlinks, Atari ST. Atari ST is a little set, but is cute. 260 games. Commodore 64, more than 4,000 of games. Is a huge set. I've made this set through the years. It was one of very early set I start to build, and there's a lot of gems. If you are Commodore lover, this is the place to be. Included hacks, included the compilation on ColecoVision, CD-TV, and this is a very rare system, Amiga system based on CD, a little obscure, out of Europe. There's the complete set. It was 20 games around. The Daphne, classic Daphne games, not much. The Dreamcast. Okay guys, keep attention there, because the Dreamcast with the PSP is one of the major highlights of the retro machine image, because the Pi4 finally can manage properly the Dreamcast. So not anymore little indie games, but big games. This time the set is more than 100 of games. Capcom vs SNK 2, Daytona USA, Dead or Alive 2, Dynamite Code, F355 Challenger, Ferrari, The Fist of North Star, and this set also included Atomic Wave releases, which was based on Dreamcast hardware. So I've decided to include it there. The Gunlord. The Gunlord finally, oops, I lost it. The Gunlord finally works properly on the Pi4. There was some problems on the Pi3, but not anymore. It's all on his glory this time.
Gunlord.
You see, the speed is great. Okay, this time you can see there's not the bezel by default, because they can turn problematic for some, because to set the overlays I have to set a configuration file, which is change some parameters, so it may be problematic. So I've decided to remove the overlay by default. You can just set by yourself. So let's continue to see the Dreamcast set. Veronica, one of the best Dreamcast games. I remember I owned about a Dreamcast only for this game. Shenmue 1 and 2 are included. The Shenmue is also on the community compilation. Okay, so you can see a lot of games for the Dreamcast. Game Gear, the Game Boy. Just look at the games on the bottom right of the screen. Game Boy Advance is full set. Game Boy Color, televisions, classic, super classic. My very first console, Sega Master System, Mega Drive, MSX, and Naomi. Naomi is another highlight of this image because it's also based on Dreamcast emulator. The Naomi was a motherboard, arcade motherboard by Sega. I've just included the games that you can actually play. I just removed the very Japanese text game. Nintendo 64. Okay, Nintendo 64, we are not there yet because we need the Vulkan drivers, but the scenario is a little better than before because now almost all of the set work is doable, let's say like that. Not perfect by any means, but you can play most of this game that I included, more than 100 of games. Some games more problematic, but you can play most of this. So just doesn't expect a great performance from this system because it's a long road yet on the Pi4, but the things may change with the Vulkan drivers, who knows. Neo Geo, this is the Neo Geo Home system. The Neo Geo arcade is already included into the arcade set. This is the Neo Geo Home, so the home console, not the arcade, which is different. The games are different, and in some case they also have specific option and modes. The Neo Geo CD, I've just included only the game that have a concrete enhanced soundtracks, because beside that the games is almost the same that Neo Geo, so there is not a reason to have same games twice. The Nintendo 64 is a huge set, NES set, more than 1000 of games, huge, and there's a lot of hacks also included, and the prototypes. It's very generous set. The Neo Geo Pocket Color is a little cute set for 1 games. Open board 91 games. It's a fantastic set. I'm very satisfied. Not the full set, of course. There's tons of open board games around. I just included the best ones, or at least the ones that I like the most. For example, one of the best games I like is Golden X Smith is very good open world game. The E-Man Masters or Okyuto no Ken Fist of the North Star, but this is a demo because they never finished this game. Joe Kill Bill, some little more than advertisement. Mortal Kombat Unlimited and Mortal Kombat Outward, they're both great games, one of the best games on open board for sure. Okay, I have set the controller for that. Don't mind this. The open board is a little less on the RetroPie because you have to set the controller on your keyboard. You have to plug a USB keyboard and then configure your controller. But before this release, I will use a default profile, which is based on the Xbox 360 controller. So if you configure or you have an Xbox 360 controller, all games should play straight without the need to set controller to map control for every game. I hope it works. I'm not 100% sure about this because there's some limits on RetroPie. Unfortunately, open board works way better on Battlesera, for example, because Battlesera is able to configure controls on the controller that you have currently plugged into the system, and this is not possible on RetroPie. I'm sorry, not depends by me. PC Engine, the PC Engine CD, there's a great release on this system, like Castlevania. It's Akumaju Dracula is the Japanese name. Ports. Okay, ports, there's the same games, but there's some new ad like the Street of Rage remake, which is great, which is fantastic, and we play together because you had to see this. Absolutely. This is a fantastic project. I'm very impressed. Bomber Games. You know, that should be the proper release of the Street of Rage 4. It's a pity. Okay, as you can see, my controller, which is a DualShock 4, is already recognized. Listen, the music is totally reworked. The game is a full widescreen. There's intro scenes. Okay, there you can select the levels, and basically the levels just rework all the Street of Rage games released. Okay, that should be the first Street of Rage, the Street of Rage 2, the Street of Rage 3. So let's try the Street of Rage 1. The prologue. Listen to the music. It's great. Guys, this is a masterpiece. You cannot miss this. Oops. Look. Oh, remember this is special. Pista, gente, pista. Okay, I want to... Let's change capture. It's great. Okay, this is a very one of the major highlight of the retro machine image. The Street of Rage remake and the PSP, another huge set. Like I said, the PSP and Dreamcast are the stars of the retro image because the Pi4 provide the properly power to manage them. Sorry, little burp. So I show very fast the set because I know I saw I don't want to play, but I lied. I want to play Ridge Racer 2. Some released the 2 Ridge Racer for the PSP, but the same game basically the same thing. It's the Ridge Racer 2 is enhanced version, but it's very the same game, not reason to have both. Okay, this is not so retro play, to be honest. Is more like a modern play.
Proceed with above choices.
Most of Ridge Racer tracks are included. Rib Racer.
Please select a machine class. Commodore,
Fiera.
get ready to race.
Beating the record can be more challenging.
Okay, like I said, this is not so retro, to be honest. It's very current.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, the music.
3 laps to go.
Super classic. Grip. The memories. Okay, remember I'm actually play at full HD resolution, but for the PSP is way better to play HD ready resolution, so it's better to set 720 pixel resolution, because there may occur some slowdowns, and I'm not even on overclock situation, so there's not overclock and I'm full HD output, so the game may very slow down, I'm not sure. Take the performance there with a grain of salt, because it will work way better with an overclock for over 2000, for example, and the resolution lowered to 720 pixel. Remember this, you can change the resolution to the run command, and I suck. Oh my! I don't remember how to see the car. Oh, okay, external view. This car is so slow.
Yeah, it's a new record. 2 laps to go.
Okay, it's way better with internal view. The first person view.
Ready for nitrous.
Maybe you can notice some drops on audio.
Critical hit. Oh, what are you doing?
I bounce. Even without overclock and on full HD resolution, you can just dream this on the Pi3, for example. It's very needed Pi4 power to manage a game like that. Forget this on the Pi3. Okay. Okay, move on. The PlayStation. Huge set, epic set, more than 600 of games. It's impressive. It's so impressive. And there's a lot of gems thanks to my collaborator that provide me, like for example my friend Cash. And I want to show some of his gems, like the Tomb Raider Gold, the very rare version of Tomb Raider, which was released only on PC. Okay, I will show very fast this one, because there will be another live stream, fancy live stream on Retro Machine, don't worry. Oh my gosh, I love this game, the memories. Okay, basically it's Tomb Raider 1 but with some bonus levels. But I'm not sure if you have to unlock this level. Whoa! No, seems not. Oh my, totally new level. This is oh, crocodiles. No, leave me alone. No, don't touch a lady. I see this not end well. No! I don't want to be devoured. No, not the case. Okay, it's hard as hell. And it was understandable. Okay, Tomb Raider, new levels never seen before. So let's move fast to the end. The result of VMs and some game that was supported by the emulator, like the Miss 3, Longest Journey, and Green Fandango. Genesis 32X Cambiem, many games from Cambiem. Sega CD, almost the full set. Nothing new there, but Super Nintendo, super set, more than 1000 of games. Super Nintendo CD is 35 games. Oh, I want to show this because it's very good. The Street Fighter Alpha 2 enhanced. This is so cool. Yes, because the Super Nintendo CD, which is the MS1. MSU1, which let user to add CD quality music to the old Super Nintendo games. But not only that, you can also enhance the games, like in that case. If you remember the Street Fighter Alpha 2 SNES version have very long loadings, but not anymore with this version. Let's see together. You see, there's not anymore the long pause after the game starts immediately. Just look the old videos of Street Fighter Alpha for Super NES and refresh your memory if you want. It was not like that. It's funny because when I see some video of the enhanced version of Street Fighter Alpha 2, I saw some comments that believed that the author was edited the videos and it was all fake because they think the creator was edit the video, but is not true at all. I'm not editing anything. It's all recorded live, and I must assure that the game have not any pause, any loadings, and it's fluid, it's seamless. And back to glory. This one of the best ports probably of Street Fighter Alpha on the SNES. Look, the works they Capcom done on this port, gigantic sprites, the animation is totally impressive. What they made on a 60-bit console. Whoops! Don't fall. No, not fall. Do not fall. Okay. It's great. Okay, move on. Vectrex Sharp. The Sharp. Oh my gosh. The Sharp set was enhanced by the great Arumila. Yes, was around 100 of games and more than twice now, but not only. With the enhanced Sharp set, the multi-disc are supported, like for example Strider. Yes, Strider worked this time. Okay, Strider is available on arcade too, but it's so cool to have for the first time the 6A1000 version of Strider. Wrong games. What game I picked? Okay, I have to check this later. Okay, Sinclair ZX, very big set, more than 1000 of games. The Commodore 64 cartridge is just a cartridge set, so only cartridge released. And look, the original is still challenging. Okay, let's oh, don't forget there's the desktop mode this time. Okay, let's close with the community and we will see this big set later, but just a sneak peek. Those are the games that you decided you picked on the Discord, the Z Discord channel. So all the games you see there are decided by you. So I just applied what your will, and there's okay, there's a lot of Amiga and arcade releases. This is not surprising after all, because many Commodore lovers on the DC crew. Of course, the Street of Rage remake is included. I don't even remember all the game because I just included, but okay, let's see from the beginning. Bomb Jack, Bubble, and also the Commodore 64 version is so nostalgic. Crash Bandicoot, PSX, all the trilogy, Dragon's Lair, Final Fantasy, Ghosts and Goblins, Quimbert, Hero, Indiana Jones, Kung Fu Master Classic. try Rambo 2. I love this game. It's so great. You picked the Rambo 2 for Commodore 64. You are so Commodorian. Oh, I have to record the visual keyboard because I don't have a USB keyboard around. Remember our great music for that one. This is so nostalgic. It's so retro. This is retro for real. This is real retro. Not Ridge Racer. This is for retro lover. It's so hard. This game adjusted. The length of this game, I think you can. Oops. You can finish this game on 20 minutes, I think, maybe less. But it's so hard. Okay, we reached the end for this very first fancy showcase of Retro Machine 512 gigabytes for the Pi4, the most ambitious work by Darish Zone. So thanks guys for watching, and let me see your opinions about it, and just wait for more videos about the Retro Machine work by Darish Zone. Thanks for watching guys, bye bye.